Yo, to my truck drivers out there, got a kind of a fun video for me. Kind of gives me a little chance to kind of brag a little, but I know it's not really like that. I'm proud of what I've accomplished and what I've done. And I want to talk about 4 years of trucking, over 500,000 miles. Let's get into it. So I got my CDL in 2021. Got through with my trucking school in May of 2021. Was in a truck doing flatbed and for the first 9 months over at Melton Truck Lines. And then moved on. I'll probably do a separate video on my journey, but 4 years and over 500,000 miles. I got over 500,000 miles earlier this year, shortly after, I think, my 4-year mark. Shortly after, if not right about that. And that's really getting to it. I'm curious, what other people are out there getting to. I know there's a lot of hard workers out there. I'm not the only one. I can only do so much. I'm not a robot. I can't stay out here 52 weeks a year. Okay, unfortunately, my guilty pleasure is I gotta have usually at least 3 weeks off. It usually ends up being 4, because when you're on the road, logistically, you just got stuff you got to take care of, and I don't even have that much responsibilities, which we'll kind of get into maybe a little bit this go around, but definitely in another video I want to do talking about really my experience. But I'm proud of that. From the very beginning, when I got out here, I had a plan, and that plan has changed over time. It's grown, and I've grown a lot. I've experienced a lot. I've seen a lot of things. I would love to show all the wonderful photos and experiences, some videos. Didn't really post a whole lot on YouTube. I really stayed monk mode, really just focused and driven on trying to turn my life around. And man, it's been a hell of a journey, let me tell you, man. In trucking, what a lot of folks don't understand is, this is from some of my truck drivers out there. We've been working overtime for decades. It's funny, I talk about it. Folks out there, before inflation got bad and everybody had to work more, everybody was out there working. Man, a lot of people were working 40-hour weeks, people working overtime. What are you doing that for? You don't need to do that. Enjoy your life. And then reality came quick, fast, and in a hurry, didn't it? Yeah. So, but us truck drivers, it's really hard to do just a 40-hour week. There's not a whole lot out there like that. And most of us are working at least 60 hours a week, 70. The max in the industry is 70, but we definitely push it because we're the backbone of the economy, allegedly. And, they have to make us run as hard as possible, like Hebrew slaves, for the cheapest wages they can get away with, for us to not all quit. And, there are some perks to the industry. I'm not on there. I enjoy what I do. I have ups and downs. And it's because I push myself, man. I don't play around. Bro. I came out here with a plan. I told myself I'm going to stay out here as much as I possibly can. I've lived in the truck for 4 years. Very much so. I've got a storage unit. I could have another storage unit if I need. I basically have another storage unit where, I spend some time with family a little bit on my off time. Don't really live with them. And when it comes to residency, I don't reside there. I don't live there. I haven't for a few years now. And because I don't claim allegiance to that state or to the residency, and I live in the truck. I'm a nomad. I've been a nomad for 4 years now. And like I said, I came into this with a plan. And I said, because in my situation, we'll talk about this more in my journey, but I came into this, man, and you got to have a plan out here. You don't want to treat this like a normal job. Okay, it's not. It's a lifestyle. A lot of sacrifice. Because it's just not. to get your check, to get your nut, if these wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. You sitting around waiting for a load, you're not earning, but you're working. Oh, you're working. Because I used to make a full-time income as a security guard. You're certainly sitting around securing that load, aren't you? You basically the security guard for that load when you're off duty. And I don't want to hear no flack from some. I'm gonna be nice from folks that don't know what they're talking about. Usually my language is really colorful. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, but not too much. I want to show a little personality, you know. But man, I've changed a lot as a person, especially since from when I used to be active on YouTube. But let me tell you, in the trucking world, because we work so much and because we're so exhausted in the mental fatigue of what we do and the emotional fatigue, it's really exhausting. You'll find that out when you get out on the road. Everybody knows, they talk about you travel, you're on the road. Oh man, it was exhausting, that drive. Yeah, think about when you do 11 hours every single day. Think about when you do 10 to 12,000 miles legally, not to mention the people that are running more than that illegally, per month. Per month. 100,000 miles a year is average. Okay? 1 year, I put down 147,000 miles. I'm proud of that. I had a good year. Things went well. Things went right. And when I talk about that, you know, folks that don't know, man, you can have a lot of delays. One day turns into a week. Your dispatcher's playing around, wanting to get the best rates, having you sit around. But 2023 was a really good year for me. I made good money. And it felt worth it. It felt really worth it. Maybe not really worth it. Like I said, there's a lot of sacrifice out here, man. But I told myself, you know, to me, this, I don't know what other guys are out here doing, but let me tell you, that to me, that's why this trucking industry is kind of messed up. To me, you're not meant to be putting down 100,000 miles every year, working the hours and the time that we do to not have a life outside of the truck. That just ain't right, man. So you got to work hard and have a plan in the beginning, so that then you'll be ahead. You can get ahead. You can make some moves. And then you can slow down and have a balance, have a quality of life, and you can enjoy that career. Or if you're running it as a business, same thing, just different, a little different. You know, and that plan, you know, I'm not going to get into that right now, but it's just something I'm proud of, man. You know, 500,000 miles. I've been to all 48 states, mainland states, multiple times. I've been OTR the whole time. Living in the truck the whole time. I usually average about 4 weeks off. This year will be the first one I've done the most home time. And I've also had the slowest year. It wasn't just the home time. It's just been an effed up year, 2025. For me, personally, a lot of waiting around. A lot of things costing me money for my business. And it's just been, boy, it's been a tough one. My earnings have been down. They were down a little bit last year too, but this year just that much and then some. I was down about 8% last year from what I was the year before, and this year I'm down so far about 8% or so from where I was last year. Just enough to have me looking for another job somewhere else. I can tell you that right now. And thinking about some plans. But let me tell you, man, it's crazy, the sights you see out there. We're going to talk about that, the honeymoon phase, the beginning. You want to enjoy that as much as you can, because it gets real out here. If you're not pushing yourself to where you hate your job sometimes out here, I don't think you're doing enough. Now, there's going to be some folks out there that have a different opinion. They say, well, I ain't going to work so much for nobody. I'm going to have my life. Okay. You're not going to get ahead. You're going to be broke 20 years from now, 30 years from now. You probably won't be in the industry 10 years from now. You're going to be driving this damn truck for somebody while making them good money where you barely getting ahead. You gotta get ahead in life, and you got to work hard. You got to get ahead, baby. So, you know, I've done okay. I've come up a little bit. And man, I've seen some beautiful things. I've seen some of the sights and some of the experiences I've had. It's pretty good, but it's also very exhausting. It really is, man. It's a lot of hours working. It's a lot of sacrifice. Don't you think I would love to be fishing? For what I'm doing when I'm working so hard trying to get ahead, I put everything on hold. I'm not living a normal life. I have not lived a normal life for 4 years. I'm working and living in the truck. I spend 330 plus days a year and nights in the truck. And it's just a lot of sacrifice that comes with that. You can only do it for so long. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's a damn robot, and they can just... Good for you, man. That's awesome. You got to get ahead. Hopefully you're not blowing your money. Hopefully you're getting something out of it. You got something to show for it. All right? Make sure you investing. Make sure you're saving your money. You got to be saving your damn money. You got to be getting ahead. Listen, come into the industry, get you a storage unit, get rid of some stuff, get minimalistic, live in that truck, and come up, baby. No student loan debt unless you with a carrier, and you got your license with them, but that's an aside. Man, you got to come into it with a plan, baby, and work hard. Get ahead. So many folks out here that don't have a plan. They don't push themselves. And they'll stay driving somebody else's truck, making them money. And you can't treat, in my opinion, you just cannot treat this like a normal job and go home and enjoy a life outside a truck. And you can someday. Hopefully you can. That's the goal. But you've got to get ahead first. But this is a career, this is a job that if you are really hard working and you grow and you invest, you save, and you have a plans, 1 year plan, 3 year plan, 5 year plan, and if you can, a 10-year plan. Okay? And it gives you a lot of time out here to think and to learn. You can listen to some podcasts and YouTube University, baby. I've learned a lot. And this job, this career, if you come at it like that, you can come up and you can have something to show for it if you do the damn thing. A lot of people out here don't have that, bro. They wanna treat it like a regular job, have their home time, go home, have their mortgage payment or have their rent payment when they're only home on the weekends or only home for 4 to 6 weeks out of the year if they're lucky. If they're lucky. Now, you can slow down in this industry. You can. For example, if I wanted to, and someday, even as driving somebody else's truck, I could work 3 weeks and then come home for a week. So I could have a week off every month if I wanted. But my income would drop significantly. Because if the wheels ain't turning, I'm not earning. There's no such thing in this industry as getting paid just to show up. Okay? I don't want to hear about the detention and this, that. That's just to keep us from quitting, okay? Man, I will say this beard looks damn good, huh? I just think so. But, you just can't... I'll give you an example. This is, a lot of this stuff I want to talk about in a different video, but let me say something here. As an example, if I don't bust my ass and push myself to where I hate this sometimes, to where I just can't stand it no more, to where I'm just begging to go home. I have so many times throughout a year and for the last 4 years where I'm just begging to go home, but I make myself stay out. Shut the hell up. Put up with it. Reach your goals. And then you can slow down. But for example, if I took the home time, I should run some math. What's funny? I'm going to go through the math someday in another video. But if you take 12 weeks off a year, once a month, I think it's still less, or it's almost equivalent to the amount of home time that a normal person that works a 40 to 50 hour a week job has. that blows your mind, doesn't it? There's a lot of time where y'all in a normal job have home. That's what I'm talking about, that you take for granted. There's a lot of things like being able to get into a nice hot shower, just walk right in, baby, right into a nice toilet, right onto a nice toilet, right onto your nice bed, right into your nice living room. I've been stuck in this semi truck, like just like this, and with that little dog too, this whole time, man. 4 years, 330 plus days a year, because I went through a phase in my life, and I went through some naughty shit back in, like, it started in 2017 and it's going into like 2020, where just working a normal job and just doing the status quo just ain't enough. You got to come up by any means. You got to come up by any means, legally and lawfully. Okay, hopefully. But let me tell you something. It's been a ride. It's been a ride, man. I'm telling you right now. Even with how much I enjoy, I go through phases because I push myself so hard. A lot of folks have a hard time. I have a hard time too. Man, I want to go home sometimes. Man, I just want to break sometimes. You know, a little tip. If you're pushing yourself and you're feeling like that, good for you. Every now and then when you need a little break on your weekend off, instead of going home or on your 34-hour reset, go get your little motel or a little hotel room. Stay in it for the day off, the weekend off, and enjoy that. It'll be a nice little perk. It's a nice little thing every now and then to do for yourself. You deserve that shit. You work hard as hell. And you can come up, man. But certainly, the goal is to get back to a normal life someday. And I'm getting there. I think I'm at least 50% of the way there to what I want to do. I'm not saying I'm going to drive a truck like this. I got some things I might switch it up next year. I am about ready for a break, and I think I might be ready for like phase 2. We'll get into that maybe sometime. But I might be like 75%. The problem is I've stayed out here and I've gotten bigger goals. It started off as something smaller. I could achieve it, and then inflation ate my ass alive. So now the new $60,000 is the old $30,000. So yeah, that's cool. But man, it's been something, man. I think I'm getting there. I've achieved some things. I've come up, and I hope you do too. And let me know what your experience has been, and tell me how much of a rock star you are, how you drive 200,000 miles a year. I didn't even know more than 120,000 miles in a year was possible until I did the damn thing. But I really was, and a lot of part of it's because of Dry Van. And he was booking loads so quick and stuff. He was keeping me running. It was it's a good deal. But that's just been my experience. I'll probably talk more about exactly my whole experience in another video. Peace out.